As a crypto channel, you may have noticed that we have stopped talking about individual projects in depth, and there's a reason for that. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Baking Analyst channel, and today we're going to be uncovering some unpopular truths about investing in crypto, and also looking at some unpopular ways in which you may potentially profit from this space. Now, while I'm not advising you to do this because this is going to get you a lot of hate, well, that is the truth of the situation. I'm only here to bring that message. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's video. First of all, let's talk about the state of crypto. Crypto nowadays tends to be rather tribal. People tend to gather in their own small communities. There's the NFT crowd, there's the XRP army, there's the Cardano people, there's the Crow fam, the list just goes on and on. But what we want to realize here in the first truth is that none of these tribes actually help the people who are saying that we should all band together. That narrative actually only benefits one particular type of investor in particular, and that is the whales or even the developers of that project that have a huge amount of tokens, let's say held by VCs or private sale buyers, who are then able to offload it onto said strong community. And that's the reason why this channel has stopped talking about individual crypto projects in depth on dedicated videos, particularly as people are likely to be fooled by it and into this whole, primitive human drive to try to create a sense of belonging for themselves, and in so doing end up getting the shorter end of the stick. The second inconvenience and unpopular truth about crypto is the idea of airdrop tokens, inflationary tokenomics, and the potential for you to get huge outsized profits by holding or buying these tokens. Now, the unpopular way to play this would be doing things like yield farming, where you're farming a farm token that's being inflated into zero, like VVS for instance, and then dumping it on the open market, taking your profits immediately. Now, one of the airdrop tokens that has been hyped up quite a lot was something like the Blur token. Now, while that might have utility in the future, as of now, it is currently still just a governance token of an NFT marketplace, and that is what it is. While there might be people coming in to buy the token in order to speculate on a potential airdrop, what usually then happens is that people end up buying these tokens and waiting and waiting. Sometimes in some projects there is no airdrop at all, whereas in the case of Blur, when they actually airdropped the token, what we saw was a speculative run-up and then a dump as people took profits. Now, the unpopular way to profit from this entire airdrop hype cycle, where we've looked at things like optimism, layer 0, and all that kind of stuff, will be actually to trade it. So that means when you start seeing hype on Twitter, you want to be in those particular coins, or at least just take note of them. And as the hype continues to grow, you ideally want to front run the actual airdrop. You don't actually hold the token until the airdrop happens. You want to take profit before that happens, as the token is climbing up and as the hype is building. Is this unpopular, and is this dumping onto people who might not know better? Yes, but is it profitable? Potentially yes as well. And that is the other problem with buying entirely into the hype train and then getting dumped on as exit liquidity. The third inconvenient truth we want to talk about is why 95% of tokens never recover to their all-time high. And the reason for that is simple tokenomics. If a token were to be continuously printed over a long duration of time, including a bear market, even if that particular project gets the same amount of money as it did in its all-time high, such as from people buying into that token, then there's going to be a much larger quantity of tokens at the end of the bear markets than at the beginning of the bear market. So even if they reach the same market cap, the price per token is likely to be much lower than what it was at the all-time high. Now, what happens when a coin is pumped is this: external capital, or money from outside the system, is pumped into the system. So you deposit money into a pool filled with dollars and you get some crypto in return. Now, a lot of people don't realize that there's only a finite amount of money in this side of the pool. If this quantity keeps increasing and this pool remains the same, then all of these tokens over here can only be redeemed for maximum of the total value of this pool. So each coin that is within this pool itself falls in value. And that's the reason why 95% of coins never recover to their all-time high. Just poor design, poor tokenomics, and no utility. Now, all that sounds really gloomy for crypto, and this being a crypto channel, you might think that this sounds a little out of the ordinary. So what am I actually doing when approaching this as a crypto native? Well, the answer to that is in this video over here, where I talk about specific types of investments that I am looking at. And spoiler alert, these investments have remained the same, because ultimately investing is meant to be relatively boring. It shouldn't shouldn't be an exciting wild goose chase of random farms, because after all, every time you deposit tokens on a farm, you stand a chance of losing it, or rather have a less than 100% chance of receiving everything back. Multiply this by the number of farms that you switcheroo between, and you arrive at a probability of keeping your funds that is much lower than if you had just chosen several good projects. All in all, I hope you found this video informative and useful. If you want to grab $20 or £20 worth of crypto, as well as 4% cash back on your day-to-day spend, you're going to want to check out the card linked in the description down below. Once you've traded 250 whatever currency of crypto, you would be able to claim that reward. With all that being said though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.